Hey everyone, it's Zach Wright from iMeal Company, improving management, employees, and organizations. Today, we're going to continue on our conversations about vision, mission, and leading into strategy. So this video is going to be talking about the mission statement and the mission in general. So some of the things that we're going to go over today is what is a mission statement? Why should you have a mission statement for your company? And then also how to actually create your own mission statement or improve the one that you have. And then we'll close it out with some examples and how they use their mission statement to make decisions and grow as a result. Now, before we go forward, I do want to call out Bonusly's blog. I'll link it in the description. They've done a great job of outlining what I'm about to talk about today, and you can actually read it and save that article for whenever you're developing yours or revamping yours. So let's go ahead and get into it. What is a mission statement? Well, a mission statement is what makes your company stand out from the competition. These are some of the questions that you want to ask yourself. What makes your employees get out of bed every day to come to work or do the work if you're remote? And then what are your company's most deeply held values? Now, that could be your core values, or that could just be a manifesto that you live by. For example, let's say that you're a company that focuses on eco-sustainability, or you're a company that focuses on improving company culture, so on and so forth. And then what is your vision for the future? Now, that kind of gets cross-lapped with vision. Your vision is going to really catapult and talk about what it is that you're trying to do at the beginning into the future. So what is your ultimate end game of the company? And then the mission is why? Why are we doing this? Who and what are going to be needed to help us execute what we're trying to achieve in our vision? So, in the most essential form, your mission statement tells the world and your employees why your company exists. That's the most simplistic way to describe a mission statement. It's why you exist as a company. And it's not just to talk about your products or the services that you provide. Your company is here to serve some sort of purpose, whether it's providing exceptional care for your customers or making the life better for your employees or making a product or software that really and truly improves lives. That is the essential form of a mission statement. So as we continue throughout this video, make sure that you're keeping that in mind. Whenever I'm speaking about something, tie it to why does my company exist, or why does the company that I work for exist, right? Now, there might be a misconception out there that if you do the same exact thing as another company, then your missions are the same. That's not necessarily true, and oftentimes it's incorrect, right? Because if you make the same product, let's take Tom's shoes, for example, versus Nike or Reebok, since I'm wearing the shirt. Tom's shoes has a different purpose, a different mission compared to Nike or Reebok. Because we know that Tom's shoes, every single pair of shoes that are sold of Tom's shoes, a homeless person gets shoes as well. So their mission is to help provide the underrepresented or the people in need shoes by taking a bit of the profit and sharing that to a community that doesn't purchase the shoes but needs them. Versus Nike, where, and this isn't their only goal, but I'm kind of making it up on the fly, is Nike, they want to be able to provide you high quality shoes that either makes you feel like an athlete or high quality shoes for athletes. So they have to be durable. They have to be of good quality, but they're not necessarily donating a fresh pair of shoes to a homeless person or a child in need. That's not their mission. Now, their mission might be to inspire and motivate the next generation of athletes or the next generation of people who move, you know. So it's the same product in essence. They're both selling shoes, but they have a different mission. And it's really going to come from most likely your founder or your CEO at the time. What is it that you want to be known for? Why does your company exist? And what is the purpose of why your company exists? So then I want to go into an additional statement on the mission statement, which is it's not the same as a vision statement of what we spoke about in the last video, or a vision or a vivid vision. And it's not a value statement either. So I'm going to break those down a little bit here. A mission statement explains why your company exists. We've talked about that. A vision statement clarifies your vision for the future. So what is it that your company is trying to achieve? For example, at IMEO, we want to build a world where organizations operate effectively and treat others appropriately. We want to make the workplace better for all. That's our vision. That's what we're aspiring to, right? We're not there yet. We're just starting out. But that's what we mean by it clarifies your vision of the future. Now, a value statement plays out your core principles or your core values, right? So you've been in a company most likely, and you've heard the typical ones out there where it's integrity or be a hard worker, those types of things. But then there's better ones out there where it's bias for action, where you're encouraging your employees to take action rather than sit and wait. So it all depends on what you're trying to do, but I wanted to clarify that there is a difference between a vision statement, a mission statement, and a value statement. Now, a key call out of mission statements are they are external and internal documents. So they should explain to the customer what business stands for, or what your business stands for, and why you stand out from the rest of the competition. It should also provide inspiration and guidance for your employees from the front line all the way to the executive team. Ultimately, your mission statement should be able to summarize your objectives, your key results, and goals in one short and compelling sentence or phrase. And at the end of this video, I'll go through what IMEO Company's mission statement is. Now, that's the first part. What is a mission statement? So just to recap quickly, it's why the company exists. What makes your company stand out from the competition? What makes your employees get out of bed to come to work every day? Why, or what are your company's most deeply held values, and what is your vision for the future? Now we're going to go into why should you have a mission statement for your company. And now there's 5, if I'm counting correctly, that I want to call out here. Giving purpose and meaning to the work being done by your employees, narrowing your focus, shape your company culture, and then drive actions and behaviors. So let's go one by one and really break those down. So the first one, give purpose and meaning to the work being done by your employees. Now, this is a quote straight out of Bonusly's blog post by Sally Blunt and Paul Leinwan. It's from a Harvard Business Review article. So what they say here is, at companies that have clearly defined and communicated how they create value, 63% of employees say they're motivated versus 31% at other companies. Another stat is 65% say they're passionate about their work versus 32% at other companies. And these purpose-driven organizations reap substantial benefits. More than 90% of them deliver growth and profits at or above the industry average, according to strategy and research and analysis. So I call out this quote from Harvard Business Review because it aligns to my thesis paper in my undergrad, the Happy Productive Worker thesis, which states that if an employee finds purpose in their work, then they're going to be more engaged, they're going to be more motivated, and they're going to be more productive. And as a result, the company is going to reap that benefit on the bottom line, right? And more engaged employees, more motivated employees stay at the company longer. So you don't have that turnover cost of recruiting, onboarding, training, and then doing it again a month later, 3 months later. You're able to retain your customers because they feel like what they are doing matters. Now let's go into 2, narrow your focus. So defining the reason why you exist helps CEOs, leaders, and employees better narrow their focus. This allows teams to understand the way to make decisions on what to do. Does it match our reason for existing? If the answer is no, then we don't need to entertain the idea, right? If the answer is yes, then okay, let's figure it out. How can we tie this into our strategy and approach at the moment? And now, if you follow us here at IMEO Company, you know that we have an OKR program package. And the next level down of narrowing your focus is when the OKRs come into play. Because OKRs take the mission and strategy and it breaks it down into actionable items to move the business forward, right? And I can go into more detail, but there's also other videos out there that we have. I want to stay focused on the mission right now. So 3, I think it's 3. If it's not, don't come at me. 3, shape your company culture. The culture of your company is built off of the vision, mission, and values that you live throughout the company as a CEO, a leader, and an individual contributor. And it's not just what you say, because people won't necessarily believe what you say as much as they will interpret what you do as the real you. And what I mean by that is that if, and you probably have experienced this at any corporate workplace that you've worked for, especially the larger it is, the more likely this is a reality, that you see the mission statement or the values on the walls and they just stay there. Nobody talks about them. Nobody rewards employees for acting out on their core values or driving the mission forward. You want to avoid that. So your mission statement should be delivered externally and internally by showing what you stand for, not necessarily just saying, but showing. You also want to act out your values and deliver inspirational messages around your mission using real examples from your team and from your customers. The whole point here of shaping your company culture through a mission statement is that it is telling you why you exist. It's telling you what you should focus on. And it's also incorporating your values. And whenever you reward and recognize employees based off of the values that they're portraying, that the company wants to be known for, you're embedding those behaviors. You're making it a trend. You're making it a reason for employees to act this way because, one, they'll get rewarded and recognized, but also it drives us closer to the mission. Now, the last one here, drive action and behaviors. Now, I am going to go back to objectives and key results, or whatever goal setting framework that you leverage, right? The goals you choose to focus on should be formulated from your mission, your vision, your values, and your strategy of the company. Your mission can drive actual results if done correctly, right? And here's the thing too. If you have a clearly identified mission, and the CEO and the executive team and the leaders are adequately communicating these down to the company of individual contributors, the teams, the employees, then it should spark conversations when making decisions. And one of the things I wanted to call out is at the time of this recording, it was just announced that Bob Iger is going to be the CEO again of Disney, removing Bob Chapek. And I'm pretty sure I got his name right there, but if not, let me know in the comments. But the reason that I call out this is because Disney had mixed emotions around how they dealt with something that Ron DeSantis put forth in Florida. And it's the quote unquote "don't say gay" bill, right? Now, Bob Iger, at the time, he wasn't CEO of Disney anymore, but he spoke outwardly opposing the "don't say gay" bill, where Bob Chapek and Disney chose to kind of teeter around the issue, not necessarily going directly to it. So, and that's not the only reason that he got let go. But what I'm saying here as it relates to the mission statement, this is how Disney actually lives out its mission, because they wanted somebody who opposed that type of belief, right? Because Disney is supposed to be the happiest place on earth, and they support LGBTQ, and they want to be able to live those values, not just as some corporate slogan, but as something that is in their culture, right? So I call that out to say that Disney is one of the companies that is actually living their true values, their true mission, right? Okay, so now we're going to go into the third part, which is how do you actually create your mission statement? So there's a couple things that I'm going to call out here. One is describe what your company does, describe how your company does it, and then describe why your company does it. These are really the things that you need to focus on whenever creating your own mission statement. So let's start with the easiest task, which is answering the question, what do we do? Right? What does your company do? Do you sell shoes? Do you make software? What type of software? Write it down without worrying about the marketing style language right now. We'll get back to that, and you can fluff it up later. But just answer the question, what do we do? So, for example, at IMEO, we help companies build and implement their OKR programs. It's that simple. That's what we do, right? Then you want to describe how your company does it. The how is the part of the mission statement that describes your company's core values and capabilities or competencies. If you sell food, do you ensure that the food is coming from grass-fed cows, or is it organic? Is it vegan? Is it gluten-free? Right? You see what I'm saying here is how does your company do what they do? And then the last portion of creating your own statement is describe why your company does it. Now, this last question is why your company does what it does. And some of the things to think about here is, what are you passionate about, right? If you're the founder, if I'm talking to a founder here, what are you passionate about? And then why did you start the company in the first place, right? There's always a story behind why the company was founded. For example, IMEO, I've talked time and time again about how I experienced a bully boss. I've been in bad work environments where I didn't think that the operations were great. I didn't think that the leadership knew how to be a leader. And then also, I've even mentioned it in this video, which is the happy, productive worker thesis. My passion is around making the workplace better for everyone, because I think that you shouldn't have to go to work feeling fearful or being nervous to go in because you have a bad manager or you have someone who's micromanaging you, breathing down your throat. There's a way to create a well-oiled machine where you don't have to have those things. And obviously, we believe that OKRs can help go from A to B in that type of scenario. So those are the things that you want to ask yourself whenever you're creating a mission statement. Describe what your company does, describe how your company does it, and describe why your company does it, right? And so whenever you do that, you're able to piece that together, and that's going to formulate your mission statement. Now, there are some that are even more simple. So I want to go through some of the examples here. So Patagonia. Their actual mission statement is, we're in business to save our home planet. And the way that they do that, even though it's not in their mission statement here, is they make sure that their clothing is quality so it lasts longer. They make sure that the way that they make their clothes is sustainable for the for the ecosystem of the world, and they live those values. Earlier, they made an announcement that their only shareholder now is Earth. And you can look into that. I won't go into detail because that's their story to tell, and I'll probably get it wrong. But the other one is IKEA, to create a better everyday life for the many people. Now, I know that seems broad, but sometimes whenever we break these things down, we can see what they're actually doing, right? Because I think most everybody knows who IKEA is. They're an affordable furniture store. And so to create a better everyday life for many people, the way that they do this is through their affordable furniture. Now, some of the things that they've had to make decisions on to make this happen is that none of their furniture is put together. So the person purchasing from IKEA gets it at a lower price, but they have to do a little bit of work on their own. So that's how they do that. That's what is an example of how you can leverage your mission to help you make decisions. Now, could the customer have better experience if the furniture was put together for them? Yes. But would they still be able to offer it at that low price? Probably not. So just a couple more here. JetBlue, to bring humanity back to air travel. Now, what would that look like, right? And I haven't flown JetBlue, but I've flown American Airlines. And to my mind, it means that you want to really deliver great customer service to anybody traveling on your plane, right? And what are some of the things that you can do to do that? Maybe it's going down the aisle more frequently, asking people if they need anything, or clearing out their trash, or if the plane isn't full, you can move somebody to a row that is open without other people. There's a lot of different things that you can bring humanity back to travel. And then lastly, TED, the TED Talks and all that. I think we're all familiar, most likely. Theirs is 2 words: spread ideas. Now, if you think about it, that mission statement, it does exactly what they say that they're going to do. That's why they exist. They're spreading ideas. Now, that also opens it up for interpretation, where it could be a talk about biochemistry. It could be a talk about leadership. It could be a talk about how to improve the third world poverty issues. The ideas are endless, and that's their whole point. So I want to bring it all together on what a mission statement looks like whenever we think about it in terms of IMEO. So remember to think about what the company does, why the company does it, and how the company does it. So this is our mission statement at IMEO. IMEO, short for Improving Management, Employees, and Organizations, sets out to improve the way leaders and employees interact with one another and achieves goals with our strategic approach to performance management to build alignment, focus, accountability, and commitment, working in the same direction to achieve goals faster, grow with a purpose, and stretch for amazing with OKRs. Now, that's whenever you combine all 3 together. Obviously, that is more than spread ideas. It's even more than the others that I spit out there. But it's up to you as the CEO, the founder, or if you're working as a group within the executive team, it's up to you. What do you want to be known for? Why do you exist? What is going to be motivating to your employees? So for us, setting out to improve the way leaders and employees interact with one another and achieve goals with a strategic approach to performance management, that is huge, actually. It seems very minimum, but we haven't been able to do that yet. We're still trying to fully get all the organizations out there who are living in the 20th century to get to the 21st century. And then by the time we do that, we're going to have to get to the 22nd century. So this is not something that is easily achievable, but it sets the direction. It helps our employees understand why we wake up every single day. And now this can change over time, and we plan on it to change, because what we're doing in the background is working on building a software that is going to help do this in the long term. So instead of just OKRs, it can turn into an intranet. It can turn into a full-on social media platform specifically for your company. The things are endless, honestly. So that is the gist of a mission statement and why it's so important. And the reason that I want to do these videos is because I do think that there are lots of companies out there that have failed on creating a vision that motivates and drives and really acts as what we want to take the company to. And then same thing with mission statements, values, and then building a strategy. Right. So the next video is either going to be on core values or it's going to be on strategy and how to break down your strategy. And then the last one is going to tie in all these things and how it can feed into your objectives and key results. So if you're interested in learning more about mission statements and how you can build that in your company or revamp or refresh your mission statement in your company, feel free to reach out to us. You can reach out to us with the links in the description by setting up a meeting with us, or you can go to imeocompany.com, check out our website, or you can email us at info@imeoconsulting.com. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.